Something that took me a long time to figure out. And once I figured it out, I could not unsee it. Every single time a young pop star becomes famous these days, they tell you the same exact story. Small town, struggled growing up, recorded a song in their bedroom one night, got lucky. The whole thing, and you sit there watching the interview and you think, what a story. What a kid. But here is what nobody tells you. The story is not the whole truth, and in a lot of cases, it's not even close. Now, I want you to think back for a second, back in the old days, and I mean the 60s and 70s. If your kid had real talent, that talent had a real shot. It did not matter if you had money, it did not matter if you knew anybody. If your child could walk into a room and sing, somebody was going to notice. That is just how it worked. There was a young woman working as a waitress in New York City, tight fit, long shifts, barely getting by. But she had a voice like you would not believe. One night, a friend of hers slipped her demo tape to the right person at a party. That man played it on the drive home. By the time he pulled into his driveway, he had already made up his mind to sign her. That was it. No manager, no money, no connections. Just a voice that was too good to ignore. That door, that simple, beautiful door, does not exist anymore. Today, the business works completely differently. Before a label will even sit down with your child, they want to see tens of thousands of social media followers. They want a professionally made music video. They want original songs that are already polished and ready. They want a manager who has already been working behind the scenes for years. They want your kids to already look like a star before they are willing to make them one. And one of that costs money, a lot of money. So when you start asking who actually makes it, in today's music world, you start to realize the answer is almost always the same kind of kid. And it is not the kid with the most talent. It is the kids whose family could afford it to build the dream from the ground up. Take Sabrina Carpenter for example. You have probably heard her name. Sweet girl, great singer. The story they tell about her goes like this. Small town girl from Pennsylvania. Posted some videos online. Disney found her and her life changed forever. Sounds like a fairy tale night. Well, here is what they leave out of that fairy tale. The small town she grew up in is one of the wealthiest communities in the entire state of Pennsylvania. The house she grew up in was over 5,000 square feet. 4 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, private jacuzzi out back. And when she was 10 years old and decided she wanted to sing seriously, her father built her a full professional recording studio right inside the house. Not a little microphone in the corner of the bedroom. A real studio, everything she needed. But even that is not the biggest part of the story. Her aunt is one of the most well-known voice actresses in the history of American television. She has been the voice of Bart Simpson for over 30 years. And it was aunt who picked up the phone and connected her to the right manager. That manager connected her to the man who had spent years turning young kids into Disney Channel stars. So yes, she got discovered. That part is true. What they always forget to mention is who made the calls. Now let's talk about Dua Lipa. Her father was the lead singer of famous rock band. Today he is her manager. But here is the part of most people don't know. When Dua Lipa was just 9 years old, her parents enrolled her in one of the most expensive and prestigious performing arts school in all of London. The same school that trained Amy Winehouse. Tuition was over $10,000 every single semester. So when you hear this story about the brave young girl who packed her bags and moved to London all by herself at 15 to chase her dream, just remember what came before that. Years of elite training, a father already inside the music world, and a family that had been investing serious money into her future since she was still in elementary school. The bravery was real, but the foundation underneath it was built long before she ever got on that plane. Then there is a Billie Eilish. Now here is one that really surprised me. The story goes Billie and her brother recorded a song in his bedroom, put it online, and a talent manager just happened to discover it. Right place, right time, pure luck. But here is what was really going to behind the scenes. Her brother had already been working in the music industry for years. Before that song ever went online, he had acted on a major television shows. He had been writing songs and pitching them to big artists. He had already knew people, and their parents, both working actors in Los Angeles, had connections of their own built up over many years in Hollywood. The managers who signed Billie was not same stranger who stumbled across a song. He was a family friend. The discovery was basically just a phone call to someone they already knew. And the top of all that, Billie and her brother were taken out of regular school so they could spend every single day focused entirely on music. No homework, no after school job, no distraction, just music. Every day, when you have all of that working in your favor at the same time, a brother already in the business, a top manager as a family friend, two parents with Hollywood connections, and total freedom to work on your craft every single day, it stops being luck. It becomes almost impossible to fail. Now, some of these artists did not have famous parents or direct connections to the industry. What they had instead was something just as powerful: money. Ariana Grande grew up in one of the richest cities in the entire state of Florida. Her mother runs a company that makes millions of dollars every year. Her father owns his own business. From the time Ariana was very young, both parents were paying for local coaches, acting coaches, dance teachers, years and years of professional training, all before she ever got her first real break. She never had to waitress to pay rent. She never had to work a night shift and come home exhausted and still try to find time to practice. She never had to choose between chasing her dream and keeping the lights on. Most kids do not have that choice taken off the table for them. That is what money does. It removes every single obstacle that stops everybody else. And then there is a Taylor Swift. Her father spent his career as a senior financial advisor and one of the biggest investment firms on the Wall Street. When Taylor was 11 years old, her mother took her to Nashville and handed demo tapes to every single label on Music Row. Every single one of them said no. So her parents did not give up. They hired a top talent manager out of New York. That manager got her a modeling deal, got her songs onto compilation CDs, spent years of building up her names and her portfolio until the labels had no real reason left to say no. All of it paid for by Wall Street money. And then, when Taylor was finally about to sign her first real record deal, her father did something that almost no parents in America could ever think about doing. He bought a piece of the record label itself, around $500,000, and then the whole family packed up their lives, sold their farm, and moved to Tennessee so Taylor could be close to the center of the music business as possible. The Christmas tree farm story. The small town girl who just worked hard and got lucky. This is what you hear every single time. What you never hear about is the Wall Street money that was quietly behind every single step of the way. Now, where is what I want you to take away from all of this? These are not bad people. Every single one of them work hard. Every single one of them has real talent. I'm not taking that away from them. But here's the honest truth that nobody in the music history wants to be say out loud. The industry does not have a talent problem. There are incredibly talented kids all across this country. In small towns, in apartments, in places where nobody is watching, who are just as good as anyone at the top, maybe better, but they are working part-time jobs to help their families. They cannot afford a manager. They cannot afford years of training. They cannot afford move across to the country on the chance that things might work out. And nobody is investing $500,000 in their dream before they are old enough to drive. That is the real difference. Not talent, not luck, not hard work, access. When only certain kids can get through their door, the music starts to sound the same. Same backgrounds, same teams, same polished sound, same story about the small town and the bedroom recording and getting lucky. Every single time, social media has cracked the door, open just a little bit. Every once in a while, someone breaks through on their own without any of the machine behind them. And when that happens, it feels like a miracle because honestly, it kind of is. But for every one kid who makes it that way, there are thousands of others who never got a real shot. Not because they were not good enough, but because the system was never really built for them in the first place. So the next time you hear that story, the humble beginnings, the bedroom recording, the big lucky break, just remember, luck had very little to do with it.